Episode 73 is 1440. We had part one on tough conversations or tough life questions to answer. A lot of tough conversations. Every week's tough conversation. What are we talking about? Tough question to answer in life. You know what? I like these, I think, just because I'm a very philosophical type of guy.
Yeah.
And I like the reflection and trying to learn, and that's just who I am. But some people don't like the vibe. So if you don't like it, please let us know, because we might have more of these, because we could talk a long time on them.
Or debate, argue.
Yeah, sometimes it turns into an argument, but really it's just a debate. But we just got to look at seeing each other's eyes, having empathy, you know. Anyways, Taylor, we're going to continue this today on the 1440. We're going to get 1% better, reflecting a little bit, and thinking about some tough questions in life. You're up.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a tough question, but to me, like, what have you been compromising on lately?
Well, you know, I think not lately. There's two things that come to mind. One is sometimes not putting effort into my daily prayers, or putting faith first, or putting myself ahead of faith.
Yeah.
Sometimes challenging.
Mm.
Sin's obviously always a challenge as well. And then not really right now as a challenge, but when I start my new job in the fall, it's going to be a little bit longer hours, and working out is important to me, and right now it's really going well. So I'm not sure, I can't really compromise that. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I've been struggling with the schedule of how it's all going to fit together. But I really try to prioritize what's important to me, and that's how I don't need to compromise, because it's important.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit my values, then literally I'll just leave. Like, looking back at my old job, they really didn't fit my values, so I don't even care anymore. I'm glad I left.
Yeah.
If it's not gonna, I was watching a TV show thinking about this. Like, people just leave. If you don't like it, bye. Find something that does fit your values. It'll work out.
Yeah.
You know, so the example of, I'll just give the example on a TV show so everybody's a little more clear. This tennis team got stopped by the cops, and they were black students, and basically they were wrongly accused, right? They were just stopping them because they were black. And so then they're like, we're going to put on this rally in front of everybody and get the press to see it, and try to get these police officers in trouble, and be held accountable for their actions. And then the government was going to have them sign, I think it's NDAs, is that what it is? Non-disclosure agreements. And then they would be able to play in the postseason, which they missed because they couldn't go to the tournament because they got arrested or they got stopped. So then people are like, yeah, just sign it and be done. You get to play again, because that's the goal, right? But that's not the bigger goal. The value is somebody was treated unfairly just because of their skin color, and that people are trying to silence them so they can move on. Whereas the value in that is doing the bigger thing. There's a bigger issue than playing tennis. If that makes sense. So people are like, yeah, sign it, don't play. But the bigger issue is I would have been like, screw that, which they ended up having the rally instead anyways. But I would just, see ya. You don't agree with that? I don't care if I get fired or whatever. I'm going to stand for what I believe in. Somebody else will find me that believes in my values. So I think you don't have to compromise if your priorities are first a lot of the time. Sometimes it's inevitable. All right, answer your own question.
I completely agree.
You had to think of it for some reason.
What?
You had to think of the question for some reason. Is there an example?
For what?
Nothing. Sorry.
I'm like,
you just go. I interrupted.
I was like, you out here asking me questions.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Lost now. No, because I was agreeing with you. For you, when I see you, that's one thing I see is you don't compromise. You
sometimes
you're very good at if you do compromise, it'll be yeah, I'll go out, but I'm only going out for an hour. Okay, I'll come hang out, but I'm only hanging out when I'm done with all my daily stuff. I'm not compromising what I need to get done, and that to go out to eat or go out to the bars or I don't know, that's for toxic things in my head.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna like skip a workout just to like watch a movie.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and that's what I said. You're very good at that. I think, and to me, like I was just thinking about that. Like, I think
Goes back to last conversation. I want to be number one, baby.
Yeah. And that,
Right.
but yeah. So like I'd say like one thing like I'm very usually really I'm not good at compromising it on it, but like I have like soft compromise, if that makes sense. And I'd say like my workouts like today, like instead of like going and like working out at my gym, I just worked out at Woodward.
Well, I think, yeah, I like the term soft compromise. I think that's a thing that needs to happen because in your schedule today, that was just better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like some days when you're tired, oh, I'll go down 10 pounds. That's better than overexerting yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think soft,
then
I'm going to write this down. Soft compromise.
I don't want people wilding out on soft compromises because I think there comes to a point if you continuously do soft compromise,
Yeah.
it just turns into you just shorting yourself from where you could be.
I agree. And it's a fine line. I totally agree.
That's what I'm saying. Like today, like I did it. Today was my half day at work, so I only worked a half day. But then I had to stay after because I had to have conversations with my bosses and that to get like stuff straight because there's a lot of moving parts that I need to have like in-person conversations for. And so I got to compromise because I plan on leaving, working out, going home, eating, and then by that time it'd be like 5 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and that to come here like 6:30. But I had to move things back and move things around to have conversations. So I didn't get to work out till 3 o'clock, and then I'm using equipment that you don't usually use and all that. So like the soft compromise is like I would say like a big compromise, but it really like shook up the day for how I thought the day was going.
Yeah, I also look at it because I do soft compromises like that sometimes too.
Yeah.
But I would also say we're in two different. Sometimes I look forward to this, and sometimes I don't. You're just training to be fit per se.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion. You can fire back, but you don't have to have a certain machine to stay fit in general. Yeah, you like your normal routine, but for me, like I need a goalpost. I need to do this because it helps me kick. You know, so I have a specific training guide.
Yeah.
So for me to compromise is a lot harder in that regard for the workout.
Yeah.
Versus a just person who's trying to stay fit.
Right.
A NARP is what we call them in the athletic world. Non-athletic regular person.
Which is yes and no. I think it really just depends. Like
if it's important, you're trying to have it. Like if there's an end goal in sight, then it's more important. Yes.
That I mean, I guess it depends. Like what you're saying is like athletic.
Yeah.
Because like I still want.
I just think of a goal, like a competitive goal.
Yeah, like, and I plan to run like Spartan races and all that. Also, apparently my work is having a gladiator race that's in Boone this year.
They fight like gladiators.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happens. I think it's kind of like an obstacle course race.
Yeah, Gladiator used to be like that on TV. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I used to watch all the time.
But yeah, so stuff like that. So I'm starting to train for that. So I mean, like, I guess it depends what like athletic means.
Yeah, it's a hard line to actually decipher. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I guess maybe it's just me.
I'm not trying to train for a certain sport.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a soccer player. I'm not trying to train to be a football player or like
back on the
CrossFit or anything like that.
Back on the soft compromises though, I do think you have to compromise for your relationships, and like one of the hard questions to ask or answer is what is love. So like during my wedding speech, obviously living here for a long time, so you know like had struggles with what love really means. How do you define it? What does it feel like? How do you know it's there? Blah 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 blah. And a podcast I heard the other day, and I got thinking about it, is love again is like you want the other person to be more successful than you.
Yeah.
Or at least as successful. Like that's a part of love.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking compromising, you have to, that's why they say when you have a kid, you have to put the kid first because you want them to be every mistake you made, you don't want them to make. You want them to reach all their wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Because that's your dreams become their dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever they're dreaming, that's what you want now.
Yeah.
So I think compromising for love is sometimes more important than your priority.
Yeah. Exactly.
If that makes sense.
And you hear a lot of like the moms or the parents that had like opportunities like to go farther in their career that gave up, like that didn't go as far because they
Had
chose,
a kid.
yes, had a kid or decided to have family.
Yeah.
And all that. It's perfectly fine. And then at the end of the day,
I think that's why
it's just like a decision that you have to make and live with.
I think that's why we frown upon people. Well, one, high school pregnancy is not good in general because you're just young and dumb. But I think that's one of the things we've really frowned upon is because the mom has so much life to live still.
Yeah.
And then not graduating high school puts the kid in a tough spot, but the mom's trying to support the kid. You know what I mean? It's just a tough. I think that's why we look down upon that so much.
Yeah. I think when compromising, I think compromise is a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
You choose to compromise and what you choose to compromise on, and therefore, like a lot of what love to me is choices.
Love is choices.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you choose. There's something that Dayton and I talked about is you choose to love somebody.
Yes.
By how much effort and time you want to put into them.
Which is compromise.